Hello and welcome everyone to StoryChief webinar today. So I first want to introduce ourselves. So I'm Lily and this is Carmen. We're the customer success managers here at StoryChief. And we also want to thank you for being here today and participating in this webinar. So thanks, guys. So in today's webinar, we're going to talk about how to improve your social media presence online. So obviously how to get more leads and promote your articles and so on. So if you're here today, I do want to mention that we have a referral program, which means that if you refer us to another company or friends or whatever, and they decide to subscribe to a team yearly plan, that means that you can get rewarded of €100 gift card to a store of your choice. So that's a pretty nice deal, guys. So definitely think about spreading the love. And so definitely if you want to refer us, we can either, if it's something that you're interested in, we can either send you a link online or we can send it to you in email. So really get in contact with us if that's something that interests you. Also, we want to talk to you about today is StoryChief Academy, which has been recently launched, which is small tutorial videos going step by step of StoryChief's most popular features. So definitely, if you're someone new to StoryChief or if you haven't understood properly one of the features, definitely go ahead and check out StoryChief Academy. I'm going to go ahead and start sharing my screen. Here, share. And I'm just going to show you quickly StoryChief Academy. So as you can see, guys, this is StoryChief Academy. There's 17 small videos here going step by step over all the features. Definitely check that out. We also have our growth marketing fundamental videos. That's definitely something you should look into. It's all for free, so definitely check that out. The next thing, I'm going to go back to our workspace here. So in the last webinar, we used a used case, and we're going to use the same use case. So just to remind you guys a little bit what that was. So we're a company called Easy Talk. We work in the well-being sector. We have maybe more than 10 years experience in the well-being sector, and we're launching a brand new online platform to promote this launching of this new platform. So obviously we want to create articles, social posts, get as much content out there to promote our brand new social platform. In our last webinar, we talked about how to set up a content marketing strategy with StoryChief. So we played more of the role of a content marketing chief who planned content using our calendar feature. So she created a lot of stories, social posts, a campaign, and so on, and planned that for the next couple of months to really promote the launching of the new platform. Today, we're going to be playing the role of Paul, who is in charge of all the social media platforms and managing the social media channels. So first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go into my workspace, Easy Talk. Now we're in the dashboard here, and I first want to show you guys the user. So to go, you need to go to your name. As you can see, it's Paul. You click on it, you go down and select users here. So last time we played Chief of Content Marketing, and now we're going to be playing Paul, who is in charge of the social media. So he also has the role of a publisher, which means he can go ahead and already publish that content. He doesn't need someone to accept that. So just so you know, he can go ahead and publish. The next thing I want to show you guys is all the channels that you can connect with StoryChief. So to go to channels, you go again to your name up here on the top right corner. You scroll down and select channels here. And then to quickly go to social networks, you just click on social network here. And then you have all your social networks. So as you can see, we have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so on. Just so you guys know, you can connect as many Facebook pages as you want, Facebook group accounts, Twitter accounts. But this is especially interesting for a company. For example, they have your LinkedIn company page. But let's say you have colleagues that maybe not that active on their LinkedIn profiles. You can just get them to connect their personal profiles one time, and then you can actually go ahead and publish content on their profiles for them. So that's a great way, again, to promote your content, get a lot more leads as you're using different networks, which let's be honest, everybody has a different type of public. So you're getting your content out in different ways. So it's definitely something that we recommend at StoryChief to use. So the next thing I'm going to go now is go to the calendar. So just so you guys are aware, Paul has already actually received an email from the Chief of Content Marketing saying, okay, you need to create these social posts, but I'm not going to show you it through the email. I'm going to show it to you via the calendar just to show you a different way. So we're going to go up here, click on calendar here. And personally, I find the calendar a great way to have an overview of everything that is happening in your company. That means you can have an overview to see what people are working on, what content is coming out, and it just gives you a great way to manage your deadlines. So I'm Paul. I don't really want to see articles that are coming out. I'm maybe not too interested in the campaign that's running. I want to focus on social posts. So let's go ahead and use the filters at the top here. So as you can see on the top left corner here, you have type as any. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then I'm going to select social post. So now you can see, like magic, I can only see social posts that are coming out in November. You can also, we mentioned this in our last webinar, but you can always sync that to your own calendar. Not going to go into that because we did cover that in our last video. And now if I want to, I'm going to go ahead and click on the social post and then go to edit post set, and it will bring me to the social media editor. And now I'm going to let Carmen continue.
Yeah, thanks Lily for the introduction. So yeah, as Lily was explaining, we have already been invited to this social post by our manager, who has already created this social post for us and given us some instructions. And by going inside, we can already see that she has enabled some channels for us. So she wants us to publish on LinkedIn company page, on LinkedIn profiles, Facebook page, Instagram, Twitter, and also a couple of ambassador emails, which is great. But we also have some instructions, and she left the instructions for us on the caption place. So perfect, I can see that we need to use the story about the new online platform. I can also see that she wants me to change the preview image for Facebook. I should also tag StoryChief on Facebook and LinkedIn because they always promote our content. And then this time we don't have to use any audience restrictions because we don't need to. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to just remove this because of course this is not what I want my social post to look like. And on the place I will just write my own caption, which is this one. So I'm just gonna delete maybe the emojis in here, which didn't come out the right way, but we have a caption which I have just copy pasted from my clipboard. Perfect. I also want the post to be published now, but we'll see later what this means. And then I can also add some media to it. It's optionally, but this is something that we really strongly recommend to make your post a bit more attractive, since this is actually the core of it. So I have a few options. Let's say, for example, I want to add an image. So I click on images. I can upload an image from my computer or use it from the media library, take it from my URL, or even connect any media platform from the ones that I have in here. So let's say, for example, I just want to use a specific image. Let's say this one. So it looks like this. If I scroll down, I can also see what the image looks like on the specific channels, which is great. Of course, as you know, every platform has a different image size recommendation. For example, a platform like Instagram always needs like a square ratio, while maybe Facebook or LinkedIn need more a landscape format. So what you can do is you can go one by one and edit the image and actually give it a different format or a different ratio. You can do that. Of course, that's very time consuming and you may not know what specific size recommendations each platform has. So that's why we have made something a bit easier for you in this way. And you can actually go to the top message and use the option Smart Crop Images. So when you click here, the system is actually going to look into the best ratio and the best recommended size per platform. So you don't have to do anything. The system will do it for you. So we will just generate it, and then see the magic happens. And that's it. So if we look back down, it may not look like something changed, but it actually did. Here, we are not going to show you a specific preview on how each platform will look like. We cannot do that as of today, but this will be something that hopefully will be added in the future. But what you know is that we have used the best size recommendation possible within each platform. So that's actually really nice to have. I have some messages saying that the sound is not going very well. Do you all have problems with the audio? I'm just gonna check my microphone. Should be okay. Is okay. So there is a couple of people having some issues.
Maybe you just use your Mac one.
I may change the microphone. Only the very last minutes.
It's coming in and out.
Okay. Is this sounding better?
Is this better? Can everybody hear us better now?
You can raise your hand or yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna stick to this one.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yes.
And
so
also,
yeah.
wait, just to say, we've seen some questions. We're just gonna go through this and we'll answer your questions once this part is done. So don't worry, we will get back to your questions.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I showed how to use an image. Of course, you can also make a carousel, which means a series of images. So I can also get them from my media library, for example. So let's see, I want to add all of these images to my social posts, so all of them, to create a carousel. So I can see them here as well. So I can really change the order if I want to. I can also add a caption in each of them. If I look down, I can also see that all the images are here included. What I do see is two things. Here for Instagram, I get the message that we cannot post directly to Instagram if it's a gallery. So we can only do this when it's, like a video or an image, but not a series of images. But we can still use our Chrome extension for this. So it's still like 2 steps instead of 1, but it's perfectly possible to do that with StoryChief. If I scroll down a bit, I also have, I can also see for Twitter that only 4 images are allowed. This is something that is depending on Twitter itself. They only allow a maximum of 4 pictures for the carousel, but I can also say, okay, I don't want to use this one and I want to use this one instead. So you can still make or decide the 4 pictures that you want to use. So that's an example on how to create a carousel. There are other options. For example, you can also use a link instead of an image. So you click on link and then you can see all the links that you have used in the past. It's a kind of a link library. So you can just copy paste a new link or use one that you have used already in the past. And this is just a link. We see the preview image, we also see the title, and we also see some small summary. And everyone clicking on this link will be redirected to the specific blog article. So that's perfectly fine, but not the only option. We also have a video, and it works similar as with the images. You can also get it from your computer or any other platforms, or also from the media library. So for example, here, and the video will be auto-played in all the platforms as well. So, you can really also post videos as you do with images. I left the last option, the good one, for the last place, which is story. So a story is actually a blog article that you have written and published using StoryChief. So by clicking on story, I can select any story that I have written within StoryChief. So I will use this one about the new platform coming up, because that's the one that we want to promote. And this is also a link. This is actually a link that will bring me to the blog article as well. There are a couple of more options that I want to show you. You can add UTM parameters. to the social post. You can do this as a general, as for the whole social post, but you can also do that per platform as well. So UTM parameters are a great way to trace where your visitors are coming from. So these people are all coming to this blog article, which is in your website. So you might want to know that they are actually coming from a social post and they are not coming from a newsletter or just from the website or just maybe from a different place. You want to know that they are coming from this specific social post. So to do that in combination with Google Analytics, you can use the UTM parameters. If you already have them, you can just paste the values in here. Otherwise, you can use our builder. So I'm going to show you how to do that, for example, for a specific channel. Let's say for LinkedIn company page, I want a specific UTM parameter. So I just click on it. I just select the builder, and then I can create my own UTM parameters. So I can say, for example, what the source of the campaign is. Let's say, for example, that's LinkedIn, that's a channel name. The medium, yeah, that will be social, because this is a social post. It's not a newsletter. It's not any other medium that I'm using. And I can also give a name, something that I know is coming from this social post, something a bit specific. So in this case, for example, is new platform, because that's the social post I'm creating. So I can save the values and then I can see the UTM. I can do this per platform, and this way I can really know that people clicking on the specific LinkedIn post are actually coming from LinkedIn, and they are not coming from Twitter, or they are not coming from Facebook, for example. Another cool thing that we also have is the audience restrictions. We have this for Facebook and for LinkedIn because these two platforms are also offering it themselves. And this is actually to target the audience when publishing the social post. So we can really say, okay, only people, for example, this social post is in English, but I know I have followers in different countries who actually talk different languages. So I can really say, okay, I only want people speaking in English or who have English as their language on LinkedIn to see this post. So actually I can just add this audience restriction, and then only people who have English as a language on LinkedIn will be able to see this post. So that's something that you can really use if you know you have several types of followers to really target the specific group. I can also tag a few accounts if I want to. For example, on LinkedIn, I can say, for example, yeah, I want to tag StoryChief because I know they always promote our content. So I just need to type the name of the account. It has to be the exact name, the one that is on the URL when looking on LinkedIn. But by doing so, I can already see the suggestion here, and I just need to select it. I can do the same, for example, for Facebook. Let's see. I also want to tag StoryChief. The only thing that you need to know, for example, is that I cannot, or we cannot tag any personal or individual accounts. So only company accounts, company LinkedIn pages, or also Facebook pages can be tagged. This is just a restriction on API. It's nothing that we can change, at least for now. We wish we can change this in the future. For now, it's just a limitation that we get from those platforms. But you can tag everyone on Instagram and on Twitter as well. For example, there are no restrictions. And then something else that I wanted to show is the ambassadors. So our colleague, our manager, already selected a couple of lists that she wants us to send the social post to. This is the marketing department and also the sales department. And we can already see, for example, a subject. We can also see the template that has been used. I can change it on the spot, but to be honest, it looks really nice to me. So I just need to select now when do I want to send this. So in the beginning, I said I would be publishing this now, but it's a bit late, and I have the feeling that for Instagram, maybe tomorrow morning will work a bit better. So I can also change or give a specific time per channel as well. So let's say for Instagram, I want to post it tomorrow in the morning, something like this. And then the ambassador emails will be also sent tomorrow once all the channels have been selected or published to. So yeah, that's how you can create your social posts. Is it right, Lily?
That's great, Carmen. Thank you. I would suggest we answer a few questions now because I can see that some have come up. So let's start at the beginning here.
Okay. So we have a question. We have 2 social accounts per channel, one for our corporate brand, another for our sustainable. Yeah, not gonna say maybe the name. Is it possible to publish to more than one social account, for example, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook? Yeah, that's perfectly possible. So you just need to connect all of them. Actually, you can see it here as well. We have one LinkedIn company page, but we have 2 different LinkedIn profiles. This one and another one here below, which I didn't enable, but you can also enable it if you want to. So yeah, you can really have different LinkedIn accounts, LinkedIn company pages, Facebook accounts, Facebook pages, Instagram, Twitters, all of them can be added multiple times. And then you decide when you want to publish to, if you want to publish to all of them at the same time, or just select it on the spot. Does this answer your question, Victor? Okay, perfect. Let's have a look at other questions in here.
A lot of things about the sound.
Do you recommend using short-term links to save on characters? We do this automatically. For LinkedIn, for example, we already do that. So you don't have to worry about this. This will happen already on the go. So yeah, we do recommend it, but you don't have to do that on top of it, for example. And then another question, also from Victor, is there a specific format of video that works better? Well, we do work with a couple of formats. I don't know all of them by heart. I will look at them. I will look them up later. I can send you an email. But there is, I mean, all the video formats that we support are equally okay. It's not that one is better than another. So as long as we support them, then it's completely fine. And yeah, there is indeed another question is if there is a minimum level of resolution, and if so, what is that level? We have actually a blog article about this for images as well, explaining what the minimum size or level or resolution should be. So we will also be sending this to you later, if that's okay with you, Victor. Okay, thanks as well. Thanks for the questions. And maybe just another one. Can you set default global UTM parameters for all posts versus doing it manually by each group or post individually channel post? Yeah, so the question is coming back to the post. So for example, I have added a specific UTM parameter for this LinkedIn company page, but instead of having to add this UTM parameter all the time, every time I create a social post, I can indeed set it as default for this specific LinkedIn account. So I just click on this one, it's already set as default. So next time I create a social post and I select this LinkedIn channel, the UTM parameter will be added. You can still change it on the spot, but you don't have to because it's already there. If that answers your question, Anne. Okay. And then maybe the last question, are those ambassadors at risk of receiving emails in their spam box because it comes from the generalized StoryChief system? I have no idea how many of these emails are getting through. Okay, also a very good question. By default, we use our own domain. So they can white label it, for example, if you want to make sure that they don't receive it on the spam. However, custom plans, for example, can change the domain. So they can actually choose the domain that they can use when sending the ambassador emails. So then they can use just their own domain, and then everyone at the company will recognize it as a safe email. However, we will be giving a webinar on ambassadors soon, probably in December or maybe in January, and we will be also covering this domain change as well. So be sure to stay tuned.
Okay. I think
that's all of them. Yeah. Keep sending your questions if you want to, but let's continue with the webinar.
Yeah, right? Great. Okay, thank you so much, Carmen, for answering those questions. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, my post is looking pretty amazing. We have our text in here. The next thing I want to show you guys is that you can actually also collaborate on social posts. So for example, if I was to click on comments here, you can go ahead and tag people in your company. So for example, I could tag Lily here. I could put a bit of text like, hey, can you check this out before I publish this? Or like, hey, can you give me your feedback on this? And once it's resolved, it will go into this section. However, if you don't want to add a comment, you can also just go ahead and invite different collaborators. As you can see right now, Paul is the only person collaborating on this post. But if I wanted to, I could go ahead and maybe add the chief of content marketing just to get her opinion on the post before I go ahead and publish it. So that's really easily way that you can collaborate with users in your account. But what you can also do is that you have this request approval. You can go ahead and click on that. And that's the same as in stories. If you put a valid email address in here, so let's say they're not a user inside StoryChief, if you just put in their email address in here, you can just give them write a bit of text in here and ask for their opinion before you go ahead and publish it. So that's how you can actually easily collaborate with people outside of your StoryChief account. So I just wanted to show you how easy it is to collaborate together on a social post. And now the next thing, it was due for today, so I'm going to just go ahead and publish it. So by clicking on schedule, you can see if I go ahead and click on confirm, first, I just want to show you guys, you can see all the different channels that it's going to be published to. Then I'm just going to go ahead and click on confirm. And with just a click of a button, it's been published to all my posts.
Yeah, this is because of the audience restriction.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can just ignore it. It's just a test account, so we don't really have any restriction or any audience to restrict, basically.
Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and close that. Okay, the next thing I want to show you guys is how you can easily duplicate posts. So let's say you've written this amazing article on this new platform, but you want to promote it even more. You can go ahead and click on this plus sign here and duplicate current. And then you can see that this is the exact same post as the previous post. It has the same text in here. It already has all the channels selected. So that's how you could easily duplicate the post. You can also go ahead and modify the image here, put a different image. You can put different text here, and then you can schedule it for maybe, let's say, in 2 weeks' time. Because let's be honest, maybe you've published something, not everybody was online, they might have missed it the first time. So by changing the image, changing a bit of the text around, maybe adding a few emojis, changing it per channels, the people that missed it the first time, they might not miss it the second time. So it's definitely a great way to get more content out there and make sure that people are reaching your article and reading your thing. So it's definitely a great way that we would suggest to promote a story. So the next thing I want to show you is I'm just going to go ahead and delete this post because I'm not going to go ahead and do that. So this is how you can easily delete a post and confirm. So now I'm going to show you, I want to also show you what that looks like per channel. So let's say, for example, yeah, I'm just going to go to published here. So I'm going to show you, for example, let's say you're a bit worried. You think like, oh, what does this actually look on the platform itself? You can just go ahead now and go to edit view, for example, for Facebook here. And then you can, we're going to allow all the cookies. Yeah. And then you can see here, okay, this is what it looks like for Facebook. So in that way, if you're a bit worried, you're not sure what it actually looks like, you can actually go and check that out per channel. So it's definitely something that you can also do. Let's get rid of that, go back to here. And the next thing I want to show you is how you can see a social report. So up here you have details, but then you have report here. So if I go ahead and click on report here, you're going to get insights into the post. Obviously, that it's at 0. I've just published the content, so I'm not going to have any statistical data on this yet because no one probably has seen it. However, I do want to show you guys what that would look like once you have a bit more data in there. So I'm going to go to our demo accounts on StoryChief here. And here you can see, okay, this is an article that we've written inside StoryChief, and you can see all the data on that specific article. So you can see, for example, for Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and so on. So that's definitely really interesting to see. The next thing I want to show you is insights. So here I already have insights open on our demo account. I'm not going to show that in EasyTalk because obviously I've just published something. I'm not going to have a lot of data in that account. So I'm going to use our StoryChief demo account just to show you a bit more what it looks like with actual data in there. So let's go to insights here. Just to show you guys where you can find insights, you have content, campaigns, calendar, and then you click on insights here. So here, this is actually on this account, so I'm just going to go in here. So this is actually for EasyTalk. As you can see, we don't have much data in here.
No, you can switch to the other workspace.
Yeah, I have it here.
Yeah.
So here, so this is our demo account. And I just want to explain a little bit what Insights is. So Insights is all your social media platforms together, and you get insights on those specific platforms. So for example, if you click on the little eye sign, you can see this is the total amount of number of followers and fans that you have on all your social channels. You can see the total engagements you have for all the social channels. And let's say something is not clear. If you click on the little eye sign here, it gives you a bit more information of what that means. If I scroll down here, you have a channel breakdown. So it's definitely quite interesting. You can see, okay, I have more people on Twitter, LinkedIn a little bit less, and Facebook, and so on. And also here you can go ahead and click on engagements. And then it gives you a bit more insights. For example, you can see like, okay, I have more people on Twitter. Why is that? How am I going to get more people on Instagram to engage with my posts? So it's definitely interesting to have insights into that. The next thing is that you also have dates up here. So let's say you've created a lot of content in November and you want to see, has that worked? Has my strategies worked to get more engagement comments? So you can go ahead and select dates for November. And then compare that, for example, with October. You can also go ahead and click on print here. And then you can go ahead and select as a PDF, and then you can save the different dates. So let's say you want to share that with colleagues, or you need to share that with your boss to show, hey, look, I've created and I spent a lot of time creating a lot more social posts or content. Look what impact it's had on our engagements we've had, for example. Also, to show you guys, you can have a channel breakdown. If you go to the left corner here, for example, if I were to click on Facebook page here, it gives you a much deeper dive into Facebook. And what that means is, for example, I can see the comments I've generated, I can see the likes, the shares, and so on. And once again, I can go ahead and select a specific date. So it's very interesting to have a deeper dive into what's working, what isn't working. As such, you can really adapt your strategy. So let's say you can posted something that's got a lot more engagements. You can think like, what did I do right there? Or something maybe didn't work. Why did that not work? Was it yes? And so on. So it's definitely very interesting to have a deeper dive into specific channels. The next thing I want to show you guys is social feed. So to find social feed, I'm going to go back to our account here. I'm going to click exit out of this. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on my name up here. And then I'm going to go down to channels here. And then I'm going to scroll down and go to social feed. So firstly, what is social feed? So a social feed is a summary of everything you've posted via StoryChief to your social channels. So let's go and look what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and click on enable, and it's as simple as that. And now I can go ahead and view a feed. So now you can see this is what we've just posted. So it's already got a summary here. And what's really great about the social feed is that this is a static URL. So people don't actually have to be a user inside StoryChief. So you can share this with colleagues, friends, family, whoever you want, and they can also go ahead and like and comment it. So it's also interactive. So it's a great way, again, of promoting your social content that you've created, and you can just send it as a link, and then people can easily see on the different channels where they actually want to interact with it. So it's a great way, we think. And also, let's say for Paul, he's managing all your social network accounts, and maybe he wants to show his colleagues or his boss what he's been busy doing. And that way, he just sends this link and he shows his colleagues and his boss, hey, look, this is everything I've done. And then they can have a real visual representation of everything that he's been busy working on. So definitely something, again, we would suggest to use. Okay, yeah, I think it's,
thanks, Lily, for that. I saw a couple of more questions, but don't hesitate to still send a couple of more questions if you want to. So there is a question that says, if you add a new channel, can you publish posts to it retrospectively? Yeah, you can perfectly do that. You just need to connect first the channel to StoryChief, and then you go back to the social post that you have already published in any other channels, and then you just enable the new channel that you have activated and publish it. Yeah, a social post can actually be published in several moments to different channels. So that wouldn't be any problem at all. And also once you get the report, you will also see all the channels included in there. The one that you have just added will be maybe a bit behind on numbers, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, yeah, that's not a problem. Does this answer your question?
Okay.
And then another question is, could we change a picture when we share a blog article? I guess Facebook generates automatically the illustration from the article and we cannot choose another one. Thanks for your answer. Yeah, so you can actually change the picture and choose the one that you want to. So if we go back to the social post, so let's see, I go back to the social post list. Here we find all the social posts. Let's see, I'm just gonna duplicate this one just to have a new example. So for example, if I scroll down and I go to Facebook and you say, look, I don't want to use this image, I want to use a different one, you can click on modify preview and then you can just select a different one. Coming from your media library, you can just upload it, you can just get it from another platform. But this way you can add a different image only for Facebook. You can, even if you want to add a different title and a different description if you want to. And when you're ready, you just click on save. And this is how you can actually change the preview only for Facebook while all the other channels are the same. So if I publish this, then it will keep the image for all the other channels, but actually for Facebook, it will be the one that I have selected. Is that clear to you, Charles? Okay, I think so. Okay. And then I can also see a last question, but if you still want to send a few others, you still can. So a question from Ruben who says, hey, I noticed that I can't schedule more than a month ahead on my account. Is there a way to do so? Yeah, okay, so this is a really good question as well. So if you can't schedule more than a month ahead, probably is because you are on the team plan. So at the moment we have 2 team plans, one basic and one plus. And team plans cannot really schedule in ahead, only like less than a month ahead. But if you upgrade, for example, if this is important to you and you upgrade to a team plus, then you can schedule with no time in the future, but you can also use ambassadors. And there are also a few other extra options that you get. So depending on your needs, you may stay in your current plan, but you can also upgrade if you have the feeling that you will need to schedule in the future as well. Is that clear? Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so we are actually finished, but I don't know, do you still have any other questions that you would like to ask? No. Well, we will still send the webinar, the recording of the webinar tomorrow or the day after. But if you have any questions, you can really email us use the chat if you want to as well.
Yeah, and don't forget, we also have a chat with us in the bottom, like I just show you guys that here, where we have our help center with all our articles. So for example, Common mentioned a few help articles where if you just put in the keywords, you'll easily find that. Also, if you want to easily find StoryChief Academy, you can find that here. We also have chat with us. So let's say you're experiencing any kind of technical issues, something isn't working the way it should be, please feel free to use our chat as well. And we'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as we can.
Yeah. So that's all.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed. We really hope that you learned a couple of new things. Next webinars will be probably about ambassadors, maybe even campaigns, because we are launching a couple of new updates for ambassadors and for campaigns as well. So we really want to show you what these updates are. So stay tuned. We will still send you an email about the new webinars in the coming weeks. So yeah, don't hesitate to join as well.
Yeah, thank you so much for watching this webinar. We really appreciate it. It's always nice to see so many people here and all your questions and how you've interacted. It's always really nice for us. So thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.